We can get the African violet leaves wet. Truth or fake news? The answer is both. The answer is yes, you can get African violet leaves wet, not a problem at all. However, you must use warm or hot water, otherwise the leaves will all be marked. And let me show you in a minute. And now you're probably thinking, why the heck would I want to wet my leaves? Well, sometimes things happen in your home, like you could have a construction, some renovations done, and it gets very dusty, or just regular dust, and this can clog up the pores of the leaves. And just to help it out, we want to rinse those off. And here we go. See, this is lukewarm water from the faucet, and there's no problem at all. Now, if this would be dirty, I could even add on some soap, some dish soap like Ivory, something very soft, and I could, brush it around, soap it up, and then rinse it off, no problem. What is super important is to remove the water from the little crown in the center. You can use Scott towel. I ran out, so toilet paper it is. So these 3 leaves, let me get closer. The little center leaves, these need to be blotted out, and I will show you why in a minute. All the rest of the leaves, they have big surfaces. They are going to air dry without a problem. And also, if you do want to wash the undersides, you can do that too, but normally underneath it doesn't get very dirty, or the dust is mostly will accumulate on the top. So you just blot out the center, and there you go. It's all washed and no damage will appear on this plant. Unless you leave the big drop of water in the middle, and I will show you in a minute what can happen to these leaves if you do that. Okay, so in my case, the damage was probably caused by chemicals, because I do chemical spray in the fall before I close down for the winter, because I have thousands of plants and I don't want any bugs to get in here. But it will do the same damage. Water or chemicals will do the same damage as if it stays on the crown of the plants too long. And this is what happened. I'm going to show you this little leaf, and we have that little leaf, and we have another one here. Now, at some point in time when these 3 little leaves were just barely coming out in the middle, because African violets, the leaves come out from the center. So we have 3 of them. There's the other one right there. At some point, these were in the middle, and the plants got sprayed, and the little droplet stayed in the middle. So the leaf was burned. I don't know if you can see in the camera. Let me get closer here, and I know how to focus now. And it didn't work. I have another sample that I can show you. It gives you an example. Sometimes they will make a mark, a yellow mark on them. Sometimes they will become brown and crispy and stunted. Stunted means they just stop growing. These stop growing. Other times they will be marked, but they will grow out as normal. Different plants react differently, and some plants won't react at all. It's very they decide. And here is another sample. See, we have a plant. Now there's a lot of leaves missing because I do sell leaves, and this is another plant, and many have been removed. But here is another sample of damage, water or chemical damage. It does the same thing. These leaves have stunted, and they have the yellow marks on them. Don't know if, and there should be another one somewhere. There you go. There it is. Right there. Actually, no, here. Well, we have 4 actually. Let me get in the camera here. So we have one right here. See, it's more yellow at the end. So that's where the water stayed. And here's another one. So if you look at the plant from up on top, since those leaves were damaged, nothing else happened to the plant. So this is when I sprayed it. These were in the middle, and then the center continued to grow out, and nothing happened to these, so they're fine. They're growing out fine. See, the larger leaves don't react as well. Sometimes some will react a little bit to water and chemicals, but in the big percentage, it's fine. This is a good example. You see, no, there's no marks on the other leaves, and this one either. This is soil. So it gives you an example. And here's a close-up of a leaf that was damaged. This one's stunted also and just stopped growing. It doesn't hurt the plant. It just hurts those specific leaves that were in the crown as baby leaves at the time of the spraying. I forgot to mention that if you wash your plants and you grow your plants under a lighting system, you will want to close off the lights while the plants dry and to avoid any water markings on the leaves, because light and water can mark them, and also not put them in direct sunlight. Same thing will occur. And if you're a person that grows your violets on your windowsills and you are in the dead of winter where it's very, very cold beside the window and you decide to wash your plants, you don't want to let them dry there, because the cold of the window and the water will also damage the leaves. There will be little brown spots on your leaves. So let them dry on the counter in the house, and when they're completely dry, they can go back on the windowsill. So now you know that you can wash your plants. Sometimes if you have an emergency, you can wash them down and there will be no problem. So happy cleaning!